Computer. Alrighty, so first things first. I have been, just to talk to you guys a little bit about my head and my transformation this weekend, I have been realizing that I have been holding back a lot. I have been holding on to a lot of fear, and I didn't quite know how to deal with that. So the whole first day of Summit, I basically spent bawling my eyes out. Like I felt, I just felt so exposed and called out by all of the trainings. And I'm sure, you guys, some of you took the test and you're seeing your scores and you're seeing how you scored differently in each of these areas of leadership and high performance. And maybe some of you felt exposed, but for me, I felt like really called out in the sense that I know I need to level up in my leadership. I know that I have a team of people building, whether they're my direct personally sponsored coaches or coaches under my personally sponsored coaches, who are in this business to actually build something that gives them meaning and purpose, but that also gives them a real income that can help them to be able to survive. Okay. So if I am going to lead that team of people, it's going to require me to step out of my fears. And where I am sensing a lot of fear is that I am in some way failing you guys. So let's just quickly talk about this. Everyone's journey as a coach is different, and there is no right or wrong, and that is for you guys to determine what you want your role as a coach to be. So we're going to be talking a little bit about this new system that the Aero Tribe Leadership is kind of going to be rolling out over these next few weeks. And in each of these tracks, coaches are going to be able to choose which path they want to follow. Okay. Long story short, not all coaches are created equal, and that is okay. Someone who is building a $100,000 or $1 million business, like that's what they want to grow it to, is not going to be running the same pace as someone who is wanting to be a hobby coach and make an extra $250 to $1,000 a month. And as a leader, as leaders, we have been making a mistake in the way that we are treating people, because we are trying to treat these people who have $1 million earner on their goal list the same way that we're treating these people who are trying to earn an additional $250 to $1,000 a month, okay? And that fails as leadership, because then these people have such pressure on them when they felt they never wanted to really build to a place where they, where they never really wanted to be building to that place where you're trying to encourage them to go, right? And that's our fault as leaders. So with the help of some of the other leaders on the Aero Tribe, Becca has been creating systems to help us guide our new coaches in a better light, to help each coach choose a track that is appropriate to them and where they want to be in this process of coaching, so that we can also help guide them in a way that is fun and takes the pressure off if that's not what they're wanting. Okay. So that's one thing. Now for me, I want you guys to know, and we're going to kind of talk through this just so visually I can get a sense. I want you guys to know that part of where I have been failing this team is that I have really been holding back. If you guys were on my team at the very beginning, you know I am very much just like naturally, I'm a no bullshit kind of girl. Like that is true to who I am. I have the best intentions. I want the best for my coaches. I love you guys to death. I have been playing it too safe and too easy with too many of you, because I'm afraid of hurting your feelings, and I'm afraid of you guys feeling like I'm being too harsh. Now, while that is okay, maybe with someone who is wanting to build a hobby coach business, because those people want to feel supported, they want to feel encouraged, and not that I am not going to support and encourage, I have been enabling I have been enabling too many of you to not do the work, frankly. And maybe that feels even yucky to say, but it is the truth, okay? I want to get back to a high level of accountability. And I know we had an Emerald Push Pod where we were starting that. But the bottom line is, guys, if you are wanting to build to a higher oh. Hello. Hold on. How do I always forget how to do this. There we go. Did I mute everyone? Yes, I did. Okay, so the bottom line is, if you're wanting to build past that part-time income, guys, we gotta push. We gotta push harder, and it's not just me, it's not just you. As a team, we have to be holding each other accountable to our goals. Why are we gonna let each other settle for mediocrity? You know, that is very much how I feel. And I think we've gotten to a huge place of complacency. How many of you, like, just by show of hands, how many of you want to build, and there's no right or wrong, how many of you want to build a business where you're earning $250 to $1,000 a month? Cool. Okay. How many want to build past that, where you're earning? Okay, so the majority of you. Yeah. Okay. So if that's the case, my next question is, how many of you are doing the vital behaviors every day? There you go. Yeah. Point blank. We cannot be enabling that behavior. And we're going to talk about the place I'm going to focus tonight is the leadership training that some of us got to partake in at Summit. Because I walked out of that feeling like this is the direction I think so many of us want to move in. And if we're gonna move there, we have to be able to identify the areas where we are struggling, and we have to make an effort to actually move through those areas. It is not okay to just settle, because you guys, you are so much better than that. You can do so much better than that. Okay, so we are going to focus on Brendon Burchard's training, and basically it's a high performance training. So he came in and gave a talk about high performers and what those people bring to the table and what kind of mentality they're exercising. I want us all to kind of just like open our ears, put your preconceived ideas of what you are capable of aside, and let's just focus on moving forward, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen because I want to share some images with you. Present. Okay, so his obsession. What leads to sustained long-term success? This is the question he's been asking himself, okay? Some of the questions that fall into that subcategory: what do some individuals and teams succeed more quickly, or why do some individuals and teams succeed more quickly than others and sustain that success over the long term? Of those who pull it off, why are some miserable and others happy on the journey? And 3, what motivates people to reach for a higher level of success in the first place, and what kinds of habits, training, and support help them to continue to improve? So I don't know about you guys, but I think a lot of the times what happens is that we become so overwhelmed with this business that we stop enjoying it. And the second it becomes these daily tasks that we have to do that make us miserable, we don't want to do the thing, right? So as a team, I want us to be able to focus more on bringing the joy and the fun back into this process. But at the same time, if you are wanting to be a high performer, you need to understand that with every business, with every job, it is going to require some element of you doing things that you don't want to do. That is the difference between a successful person and someone who is not successful, whether it is in Beachbody or not in Beachbody. Okay, you have to put your emotions aside. You have to make these things habits that are our vital behaviors. You have to make these things habits so that it's second nature, so that you train yourself to move through it even when you don't want to. So the only thing that can help us with these 3 questions right here is creating habits, only habits. The right habits lead to sustained long-term success. This is a quote from Aristotle. Excellence is an art won by training and habituation. We do not act rightly because we have virtue or excellence, but rather have those because we have acted rightly. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Guys, wherever you are starting, you can become whoever you want to be. You can become whatever kind of coach you want to be, because it is a matter of making those actions habits. That is your choice. So what is high performance, this thing that Brendon specializes in? Well, we all want to succeed and feel our absolute best. High performance means succeeding beyond standard norms consistently over the long term. Okay, so you're performing at above par level as your standard consistently. It feels like, as people describe it, they're fully engaged. When they feel like they're succeeding or performing at a high level, they feel fully engaged. They're feeling joy. They're feeling confident that comes. They're feeling confidence that comes from giving their absolute best. We've all felt this at some point. I really believe that in some point in our lives, we have felt these moments where you feel on top of the world because you've done a job well done. You know, we've all worked hard at something. So think about how you felt when you worked hard and succeeded at that something. And let's start focusing on how we might be able to apply that to our businesses as well. Okay, so one interesting thing that Brendon said is it's not about your strengths. A lot of people say, you know, focus on your strengths in your coaching. And it's a good thing to know what those things are. But he said, you can have all the strengths in the world, but without the right habits, you don't get anything done. So you could be the most capable person. You could be the poster child for who everyone wants to have on their team. But if you don't develop the habits, guys, you don't actually practice the habits that are going to move you forward, no matter how equipped with the tools you are, you will not succeed. High performers do not report working on their strengths any more than other people do. The question they ask is less often, who am I and what am I good at? And more often, what is required to be of service here? And how can I grow into that or lead others to deliver that service? We all have the potential to grow into the people we want to be. Okay, so some questions. We know what we know about high performers. They are extraordinary, but they become that way through habits. So 1, more successful than their peers, yet they are less stressed. This is so odd to me when he said this. High performers are more successful than their peers, but that doesn't mean that they are more stressed, which I think a lot of us interpret. I think a lot of us interpret that with more work or, you know, with higher success and climbing higher, that means having more stress in your life. But actually, high performers manage their time more efficiently. And as a result, they are more successful. And because they are more successful, they're happier, they're more confident, they feel fully engaged in their life, they feel alive, and yes, they also feel less stressed. 2, they're more confident that they will achieve their goals despite adversity. Why? Why are they more confident? Because they practice the habits even when they are scared of them. They practice the habits when they don't want to do things. They practice these habits all the time so that even when they have those fears creep in, like all of us do, that they might not be able to do something, guess what? They know in the back of their heads that they're going to survive it. They know that they're going to push through because they've done it a million times before. They've trained themselves to rise above. 3, they are uniquely productive. They've mastered prolific quality output. Okay, so PQO, he called it, prolific quality output. They've mastered how to serve their audience, okay? They've understood the necessity for asking the questions. How can I serve the people that are following me? What is it that I can how can I add value is the equivalent, I think, to how coaches would perceive this, okay? How can I add value? How can I serve? And once they ask those questions and they get super honed in on what it is that their messaging is, everything becomes a lot easier because it's then just a system. Okay, they work passionately regardless of traditional rewards. Guys, we all know that like there's only so much that incentives and things like that can push us to do, right? High performers don't need those things because they're driven so much by the things that are important to them in the world, right? They are admired and adaptive leaders. You have to be willing to adapt. If you have ever heard the term evolve or die, I think that totally applies here. I have been saying that to myself over the past few months, and this is why I feel so like I so need to be leveling up in my business right now. I need to go back to the beginning of my business when TV was cut out and I was spending my time building my business, you know, like I'm in a period, I'm in a season of needing to adapt and of needing to grow because things are not working at the level that I want them to right now, right? So that's what high performers do. Yes, you know, they may be admired, but they're admired because they adapt to the situations when it is necessary and they find a path forward. They find a way through. That needs to be the mentality that we develop. When something isn't working, you don't quit, you try something else. How many of us have wanted to quit? I can't even see you, but I'm sure everyone is raising their hand, including myself 2.5 years into this. I love what I do. There have absolutely been moments where I have thought, yo, is this worth it? You know? Okay, they are happier than most people. They're happier because they're succeeding. And that doesn't mean, guys, that you have to be succeeding every single day of your life. But when you feel like you could give yourself a pat on the back, when you feel proud of yourself, yes, you're happier. When you're serving your community, when you're giving to other people freely, yes, you're happier. That brings purpose to your life. When you're doing things and working as a team, yes, you are happier because you're not going at life alone. Okay? They are healthier than their peers. Health is a huge priority to most high performers. And it's interesting because I think so many of us that took this test realized that one of the areas we suffered most in was energy. Isn't that ironic, considering that we are all health and wellness coaches? Where does energy come from? Exercise. It comes from good nutrition. Brendan, when he assessed the leaders, we were all asked to take this test before coming into the training. When he assessed the leaders, he was like, this score needs to be way higher for all of you. So yeah, high performers are healthier. And I think he said something like the top 15% of high performers are 40% more likely to work out 5 times a week. The top 15% of high performers are 40% more likely to work out 5 times a week. And all I want to say to that, and guys, money isn't everything, but just because we are talking about high performance and what that can mean. If I told you that you were more likely to make an additional $40,000 a year if you worked out 5 times a week, would you work out 5 times a week? These are the questions we need to be asking ourselves, because we don't do things because we get lazy. But when we remember that there are things at stake, and we're going to talk about this, we're going to talk about the why, we're going to talk about what we are fighting for a little bit later. But when you remember that there are things you are fighting for, you are so much more inclined to do the things even when you don't want to. Okay, they get better grades. Well, I don't need to go into that, but this, I think, is a direct result, and we'll talk about this in the behaviors a little bit later, but this is a direct result of the fact that high performers have pressure on themselves. They put pressure on themselves, not because anyone is telling them to put pressure on themselves, but because they know that there is something at stake. They know whatever that is in your life, they know that there is something at stake, and so they perform at a higher level. And lastly, they feel appreciated and like their work is making a difference. They're out there doing good in some way. They're out there making waves. And because of that, they feel like they're doing something that has significance, that makes a difference, and that they feel appreciated for. So, out of 31 habits that these high performers that Brendon was studying, out of the 31 habits he identified in each of those, he found 6 that he really narrowed it in on, okay? And how did he find those habits? Well, he asked, are these habits deliberate? Are they observable? Are they malleable? Are they trainable? Are they effective across the domains? And he arrived at 6 different habits. So I'm going to go ahead and escape this, and then I'm going to refer to my notes. Stop share. Okay, give me one sec. I can't, because I'm recording? That's weird. Alrighty, y'all. Okay, so the first 3, social habits. 1, increase productivity. Okay, the main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. I'm going to repeat that. The main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. Okay, so have you guys ever heard of the top 3, like setting your top 3? Yeah. This wasn't really a term that I had heard a ton until I started working with Vanessa, and she would always say, okay, I'm sending you guys my top 3, or what are your top 3 for the day? Your priorities. What are the things you're going to get done today? If you guys are a hobby coach, raise your hand if you consider yourself a hobby coach. Okay, no one on this call. Oh, Matt, cool. Okay, so if you're a hobby coach, let's take it for example. You might be saying something like, my top 3 are working out, being a product of the product, reading personal development, and getting a post up for the day. Okay, those could be your top 3, and that's perfectly acceptable. Someone who is building a business might have a different top 3. My top 3 could be developing a training for my team, sending 10 invites, making sure I'm a product of the product for the day. Whatever it is, there's no right or wrong, but having your priorities, and whatever you set as that main thing that you are currently working on, it is important to keep it the main thing. Yeah? I know that I have a big struggle with this because I'm so scatterbrained, and I'll start working on something and then I get inspired and I think about something else, and then I move to a different activity, and then I get inspired and I think about something else, and I move to a different activity, and then I remember that first activity, and then I start working on that first activity, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm not getting anything done, and I've been working all day. What's going on? Nothing is checked off my list. Can you relate? Okay, yeah. We have to stop this. We have to stop this, because what he was actually saying, and I don't know if this is even in the, nope, I'm not going to go there yet. Okay, so we have to stop the distractions that come along throughout the day. All right, so the things you do in your day should matter the most. What do you want? What are your priorities? Do you want to make an income that is going to sustain your lifestyle? Do you want to be able to afford that car payment? Do you want to be able to just pay your utility bill? Do you want to pay for your shake each month? Whatever it is, you need to make sure that your actions are aligning with what it is that you want. Every 50 minutes, this is an exercise he did with us. Every 50 minutes, he sets a timer on his phone. Okay, and I loved this, and this is something that I really want to start developing in my business activities and the way that I run my work hours is every 50 minutes, he sets an alarm on his phone. And then when that 50 minutes comes up and the alarm goes off, he gets out of his chair, he bounces in place, and he allows himself to recharge, and then he resumes what he is doing. Why does he do this? Because this actually increases your productivity by over 90%, guys. 90%. Sometimes all it takes is literally just shaking it out, reminding your body, okay, wake up, get yourself alive again. Because we sit here and we're working on our computer all day, we stay in one place, and then it's like your brain is just going a million miles a minute. You gotta just move from one thing to the next thing to the next thing. It does not have to be hard. It can be systematic. Okay, secondly, and by the way, just because we haven't touched on energy yet, I've been seeing this like with a lot of people, but if your energy level was one of your lowest scores, your productivity level was probably also one of your lowest scores. Mm. When you have energy, you're more productive. The two correlate. We know this, but those were by far my two lowest. Okay, so developing influence. You need to teach people how to think. And this sounds scary. And I'm talking to most of you guys right now who have the intention to build a team. So guys, please know, I'm talking right now to the people who are wanting to build a really strong business, okay? You need to teach people how to think. There is a winner's mindset. Okay, and that's not something that we are taught right away. That's something that a lot of us have to develop. Yes, some of us may have been better off growing up, having different ideas and things instilled in us. We may be better off in that respect, but that is not an excuse to not develop that mindset if it's not there right now, because you do have control. This is why we do personal development. Okay? So when you develop a team, you need to be paying forward this winner's mindset. You need to be encouraging your coaches to think certain ways about things. So one thing he suggested, and I want you guys to write this down, is saying this. When you are training a coach, try doing something like this. When you do blank, think like this. Okay? It could be something like, the next time you hear no from someone that you've invited to a challenge group, how about you think like this? How about you think that is one step closer to helping that person one day? That is one step closer to finding the next person who is going to need your help. That is one step closer to figuring out an invite process that actually works for you. That is one step closer to whatever it is. The point is that our coaches come on board and they immediately feel that when they hear no, that when someone has something nasty to say about what they've chosen to do, when they, fall off track in their workout program, whatever it is, our coaches come on board, and when they experience these things, they feel like complete failures. And yet, those of us who've been doing this, we know that it just takes a whole lot of trial and error. And it takes jumping back on when you've fallen off. And it takes building a resilient skin. It takes getting a stronger sense of who you are and what it means to you to be a coach. It takes all of those things to find that resilience to push forward. We know this because we've been through it, but are we teaching our coaches that? Are we teaching our teammates that? Are we actually working as a team side by side with our success partners and developing these thought processes? I know I'm certainly not supporting my coaches in that way enough. I've had too many people tell me that they're failing. I've had too many people tell me they want to take a step back. I've had too many people feel like they can't match my level and therefore they shouldn't be coaching. That sucks. And it sucks that I haven't really known how to respond to that, right? So super simple. When you do blank, think like this. Another way to think about it. What would happen if you think like this? So simple, guys, so simple. But we have to teach this mentality to our teammates. Challenge them. Listen to this. And this is where I'm going, guys. This is how I'm going to be leading. This is where I'm going to be pushing you. I'm going to be pushing you because I know what you're capable of. I know that you have more in you. Challenge them to try more, love more, do more, be more. Are you complacent? Raise your hand right now if you've been playing it safe and not doing the work that you need to be doing it. Right. Do you know how many people need our help? Do you know that right now in the US, there's 225 million people who are considered overweight and obese? And those aren't even all the people that I want to help. How about all the people, like, I know I'm an actor, I have a lot of actors on my team. How about all the people who have suffered over and over again with hate for their bodies, who have punished their bodies over and over again? That adds a whole other number. Here we are offering solutions, offering groups to people where they can build their self-confidence, where they can be surrounded by a supportive group of people. Why are we not sharing that? Why are we not fighting for these people's lives the same way we fought for our own? Because that's what it is. Challenge people if you want to be a great leader, and be aware of doing that and doing it more consistently. When you push people, they're able to dig deep and they're able to find that they are capable of more than they realized. Don't you want to be that person in someone else's life? Don't you want to be the person that helps someone to recognize their potential? I do. That's the legacy I want to leave. I want to have a team full of people. I don't care what rank, I don't care what income anyone is making. I want to have a team full of people who feel so self-assured and confident that they are making a difference and have a purpose in the world. That's the team that I want to build. Okay, developing courage. All right. Do your friends and family really know how you feel, think, and what you want and what you need? Have you shared that? I've shared it with one. I haven't really shared with my parents. I haven't really shared with my sisters. But I know what I'm fighting for. That's the first place to start, guys, with the people who love you. How about you just try sharing your heart? How about you share what it is that you're fighting for? How about you give yourself a little bit of accountability? You need to not have a problem taking down the haters, okay? It is okay to not agree with people. It is okay to support your teammates. It is okay to respond, not engage in drama. I'm not talking about engaging in drama. You don't need to go and have a full-on Facebook war with someone. You need to know who you are. You need to know what you are doing. You need to know what we as a team, as Team Beachbody, are doing. And you need to be so rooted in that purpose, because the haters are going to come. They're going to come, guys, because you took a step that others were unwilling to take toward your success, toward something that can change your life. And other people are not ready to face that because they're not ready to do it in theirs. They feel threatened by it. That doesn't mean you have to shrink and become small when someone else has something to say about it. So what are you doing? Seriously, this is a question you need to ask yourself. You need to write this down. What are you doing to ground yourself in your purpose right now? That's the work that you need to dive into. Because if you don't know so solidly what this company does, if you don't know as a team what we do, you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle because the haters are going to come, and how are you going to respond? Are you going to give up everything you've worked for, which I've watched a lot of people do? Or are you going to push through it and rise to your potential and do it anyway? Do it in spite of the haters. Do it for all of those people who need your help. Alrighty, this is something we can implement as a team as well. Ask your team to rate themselves each week. How did we do on courage? Where did we fall on a barometer of like 1 to 5? This is something we need to be checking in with, because a lot of us are scoring low in our courage. What we do, putting ourselves out there every day, sharing our stories, y'all, that's scary stuff. That's scary stuff, right? Let me tell you, if we just got into this to make money, if we just got into this to sell something, we could go sell something a lot easier. We wouldn't choose to sell the thing that most people are so freaked out to commit to, health and fitness, changing their lives. We wouldn't choose to sell that if we were just in this to sell something and to make money. There are a lot easier jobs out there that you could do that. No, instead, we are the people who chose to expose ourselves, to expose our vulnerabilities, our weaknesses, be raw so that we can help and inspire other people to dig deep and change their own lives. We need courage. That's a necessity for what we do. Okay. So then we have personal habits. What do you do personally to keep getting ahead? Okay, seek clarity. Clarity. How was that clarity score for each of you? That was a 5 for me. Clarity and necessity. Those are my 2. If you are struggling with clarity, you're struggling to know what it is that you seek, right, in the world. So here's what I want you to do right now. I'm going to take you through the exercise he did with us. I want you to ask yourself, what is the first, second, and third word that describes the person you are when you are your best self? Why that word? And on a scale of 1 to 10, where have you been living? Okay, I'm going to repeat that. What is the first, second, and third word that describes the person you are when you are being your best self? Why that word? And on a scale of 1 to 10, where have you been living? He had us all stand up and close our eyes, no judgment, around a huge group of people. close our eyes and yell out the first word, okay? And by this point, the waterworks had already started again. I was a disaster. And I'm saying this because I know who I want to be. And man, it's painful that I have not been living in that place. Right? If you guys wake up every day and you have a clear sense of who you are when you are your best self, and you have a reminder every single day of who you want to be, the kind of person you want to be, the kind of life you want to live, that's clarity. That's clarity, because everything stems from those words. Every move you will make, every action, every habit that you will build is going to be in alignment with the person that you're trying to be. So do this for real. Do this exercise. Check in with yourself. Ask yourself, why is this word important to me? Like, why specifically that word? For me, my words were grounded, passionate, and loving. And then set an alarm. Set an alarm in your phone every day, or a reminder in your phone every day with those words once you've identified them. Let it be one of the first things you see. Let it be a reminder to yourself what you are aiming to be in the world. Okay, seek clarity. Be receptive to feedback, guys. That also falls into that category. Always looking for the opportunity to be better, to improve yourself. Super, super, super important. Okay, generate energy. Master your transition. Oh, this was a big one. This was a big one. Release tension and set intention. Okay, so this is what you should do between major activities of the day. When you are going from activity to activity, he was talking about how the transition time is actually what makes people feel so depleted. It's going back to that mentality of switching between a million different activities throughout the day. So what he suggested is a release meditation. And guys, this may sound absolutely ridiculous, but bear with me. He said to just stand up, close your eyes, breathe in, and say the word as you're breathing out, release. And then do that again. Release. Release. You literally feel your body just releasing, okay? So all of that is going out. This is called a release meditation. Yeah, Mackenzie, totally. This is called release meditation. Now, once you've released, you set your intention. So maybe for those next 50 minutes, you say, I am going to do my workout and feel, I'm going to do my workout and feel great about the work that I did today. I'm going to do my workout and feel great about what I did today. I'm going to do my workout and feel great about what I did physically today. And it can be a few things. It doesn't have to be just one thing, but it's setting your intention for that next chunk, that next activity as you're getting ready to go in. Okay? All right. Take the time to bounce in place and stand taller. So I'm going to ask everyone to do this. So stand up. This is what he had us do. He asked everyone to stand in place and bounce taller. And he asked us, he was like, just start bouncing, just like little bounces like this. Yep, nothing big. He asked us, he said, do you think that you are capable of generating energy in your body right now? Okay, so everyone close your eyes. Keep this bouncing going. And as you're doing this, I want you to stand taller, shoulders back. Stand in your confidence right now. Stand how you feel when you're feeling confident and strong, okay? No one can tear you down. Now, I want you to actually take your mind and start thinking faster, okay? Think faster right now. Whatever you're thinking about, try to speed that up a little bit. Breathe in and out as you're doing this. right? There's no pace, there's no set pace. This is just you thinking faster, okay? All right, now speed that up again. And one more time, think a little faster. All right, good. So you stop. Can everyone say that they just like at least generated some energy throughout their body? Right? This is such an easy little thing. This is such an easy thing that helps us to continue the day producing more energy through our bodies. This is such a simple thing, but it's a choice. It is a choice to actually do it, right? You may look ridiculous, you may feel ridiculous, but I don't care. Whoever is next to you doesn't need to care. And if they want to judge you, you know what? You're doing this for you. You're doing this to build your life, to build the life that you want. Such a small thing that you can be in control of. And remember, that little bouncing in place, that taking the time between the 50 minutes makes you 90% more productive. 90%. You just generated energy through your body. It's an intentional thing. All right, last one. Raising necessity. High performers see pressure as everything. Okay? It's not necessarily pressure that's put on them from outside sources. It's pressure that is developed from within. They don't view things and meeting their goals as an option. They view it as a duty. And I think some people would say that I'm pretty intense about my goals. I do not disagree, okay? I do not disagree. I am intense about my goals. The thing though is necessity is an area I scored a 5 in as well. The thing is for me, I'm intense about my goals because I can't control that. And I'm not saying that that's a good thing. I'm not saying that the way I necessarily go about it is healthy for everyone. But I do those things because hitting Success Club for me, that ensures that I can pay my rent. That ensures that I can have an additional boost to be able to help Juan with some of our bills. You know what I mean? Like for us, I have to hit Success Club, and that's a duty. That feels like a duty. That doesn't feel like a decision, like an option for me. So whatever it is in your life, try to reevaluate. And to me, this comes down to your why, guys. You need to know what you are fighting for. Okay. It's necessary for me to do well. I will find a way. I must do this. These are the kinds of things that high performers are saying to themselves. It is necessary for me to do well here. I will just be totally honest and say that, like, so many of you have heard, I want to push for elite. That's a goal on my vision board, right? For our team, that is a goal. That's not something that I can do on my own. And because I see our points and because I see that our team really needs me to step into leadership, because I see that our team really needs me to love on them a whole lot more, and I'm not doing my job well enough, and I feel like I'm failing you guys, I have spent the last month and a half starting to release myself from elite, from the idea of hitting elite. And then I heard this. It's necessary for me to do well here. You know? And that doesn't necessarily mean elite. Elite doesn't mean that I'm doing well in this business. But what that meant to me is follow through. If I set a goal at the beginning of the year, I don't just get to opt out of that goal. I set that goal because I believe in our team. I believe in my leadership capabilities. I believe in what every single person on our team can do as a leader. I believe in the waves we can make. So rather than releasing myself from that goal, It's time I sink my teeth in and really help each one of you to step into your capability, into your power, right? So we get scared. Perfectionism comes in and we're afraid to fail. And that is exactly what I was feeling. That's what I am feeling, guys. I'm scared. I'm scared to fall short of this goal that I've had for 2 years. I'm scared of once again proclaiming something that isn't going to happen. I'm scared of saying I'm going to do something and then actually finding I can't. I'm scared of failing every single person on our team who is relying on me to help them. There's a lot of things to be scared of. You need to find something to fight for. We've been saying that a lot, and that was a huge theme at this year's summit. So if you watched my video yesterday, I gave the analogy of the beam that Darren gave. Mm-hmm. And he said, imagine you have a beam sitting on a floor, okay? And this beam is, we'll say 100 feet long. If someone offered you $20 to walk across that beam while it was on the floor, you'd walk across it, right? Who'd walk across it? Right. It's a beam on the floor. You're going to walk across it for $20, right? Now, if that were suspended between two buildings and you were offered that same $20, way up in the air, 10 floors up in the air, whatever, would you walk across the beam? No, because the risk is too great, right? There's the risk of falling. There's a lot of fear involved. You might be scared of heights. You don't want to die. Normal things, right? Normal fears that all of us go through. But if you put yourself on one building and the person you loved most on the other, and that other building caught on fire, and you had a choice to make, either walk across that beam to save that person or watch them burn to death, and I know this is drastic, what are you going to do? It's a no-brainer for me. It's a no-brainer for me. I would suck up my fears and I'd walk across that damn beam to save the people that I love. So what is it that you're fighting for so hard that you'd walk across the beam? You have to evaluate that in your life, guys. If you don't, I don't know how to say it any other way, that your driving force is not strong enough. You will not push through the crap that choosing this business will bring into your life. You won't push through it if that why is not rock solid. So what are the stakes in your life? What means so much to you that you're going to rise to every trial, every tribulation that is thrown your way? Do not back down from demanding more of yourself. And I loved what he said here. Who needs me on my A game right now? When you are doubting yourself, when you are feeling like you don't know where you are supposed to be, when you are feeling like you're floundering, or like you want to quit, or like you are so frustrated that you're ready to throw in the towel, you need to ask yourself, who needs me on my A game right now? That question changes everything, because then it is not a matter of, it's not a matter of, I want to do this or I don't want to do this. You choosing not to do it, this is going to sound harsh, but this is the truth, guys. You choosing not to do it is you saying that your priority, that person who means everything to you, is not important enough for you to show up for them. It is the equivalent. Okay, so that's kind of that leadership training. I know that there are a ton of things to talk about with Summit, and we can stay on for a few minutes if you guys want to talk about different like product launches and things that you saw. If you have questions, we can talk about those things for a few minutes. The only other thing I want to talk about is talking about Becca's trainings that we're going to be launching into. We're rolling out this new training style. So if those of you who are on this team haven't yet been through a new coach training, I'm going to be running a Coach Basics group, like I said, and basically what's that is going to consist of a little pod of all the people who are starting coaching at once. But it's not going to be the same Coach Basics that's offered to everyone now, guys. We're going to be checking in as leaders, as people who are leading other coaches. We're going to be checking in with these people and asking them about their goals. Because like I said, we're not going to be treating a hobby coach the same way that we would someone that is a real business builder, okay? We don't want people to feel pressure if that's not what they're interested in. We want to bring the fun. We want to bring the joy to it. So we're going to start developing a few different words, like a few different phrases. We're going to have a discount coach. We're going to have what's called a community builder. That's what we're going to say is a hobby coach. And then we're going to have a legacy builder. And these are people that are wanting to build towards a six-figure income. Okay. So if you are a legacy builder, there is going to be a more comprehensive training. And basically that's the one that Becca has in place right now. It's going to talk about the importance of Success Club, and not because it is a metric of the company, but because guys, if you're wanting to build towards a six-figure income, you need to be building a team, and you need to be building a strong team, and you need to be building a team that understands how to hit Success Club. And if you as the person who is leading them is not hitting Success Club, then you can't expect them to, okay? And this is not a slap on the wrist for anyone who is wanting to work towards that. This is just true of leadership, guys. You have to lead from the front. So there is going to be focus on Success Club in that training. For those who are community builders, it's going to talk about Success Club. That's going to be there as an option, but it's not going to be aimed 100% at Success Club, because the bottom line is that people shouldn't feel like they're failing. You know, I get this all the time when people hit Success Club 4. They feel like they failed because they didn't hit Success Club, but they helped 2 people that month. They helped 2 people get started on a healthier path. They're supporting them. There's excitement and encouragement there. So why do those people need to feel like they're failures? They don't. So we're going to be just treating these and feeding people into different paths, okay? So I'm going to encourage you guys to just think about where it is that you want to fall. And when you have decided that for yourself, rise to that occasion. I'm right there with you. I'm going back into a place where I'm getting uncomfortable and I'm doing the things that I did at the beginning of my business and making the sacrifices that I did at the beginning of my business so that I can level up. Success does not come by accident. I wish it was a lot easier, but guys, this is hard work. This is hard work. Nothing that is going to pay dividends in rewards is going to come easily. So we need to stop expecting it to. And if you're telling me that you're a legacy builder, I'm going to treat you as one. And it doesn't come from a place of, I truly want the best for every single one of you, and I want to help you rise to your potential. And if you want to build that way, then I want to help you build that way. And that means not letting you off the hook so easily every time you have an excuse. I'm going to call them as I see them. And I will love you through the process, okay? Alrighty, does anyone have questions, product stuff, like new stuff coming up that you saw that maybe you wanted clarity on? Anything? Is anyone particularly excited about something that's coming out? Who is not aware of like product launches that were given? Cool, Erin. Awesome. So I get to share some of the really awesome stuff that's coming. Okay, so we have a few new things. First of all, we have Daily Sunshine that just came out. And This is gluten-free, soy-free, dairy-free, like all the free things. But basically, guys, this is a great option. I know a lot of us don't have kids. It is a great option for kids because it is pediatrician approved. We've never had a product that is pediatrician approved. A lot of people give their kids Shakeology, but this is something that has that label on it. It's organic. I mean, this is an awesome, awesome product. I have thought about how I want to market it. It's also paleo friendly. So that's how I'm going to be using it since I don't have children. I'm going to offer this as a good paleo friendly option. Night, Christina. So we've got Daily Sunshine, which is, it's a shake a day. And this is really good for nourishment. It's a good snack throughout the day. Yes, you can have as adults. It's great for adults as well. You can have this as a snack throughout the day. Guys, I don't like things with just water. Did you taste it?
I didn't get to.
I have here, so I'll let you taste it. Anyway, I don't like things just shaken up with water and no added fruit. It is really good. Like, it is really good with just water. I drank a whole thing of it today with just water. That says a lot. That says a lot for me. Like, I would not do that with Shakeology. I don't do that with Shakeology. I tried actually once recently and it was not a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got Daily Sunshine. We've got Double Time. I'm so excited for this. Those of you who love partner challenges, they're about to go to a whole other level.
Yeah.
Double Time is a new Tony Horton program coming out that is family friendly, that is spouse friendly. It's a workout program that you do with a partner. This is the first time that Beachbody has ever done that. And I don't know if you guys watched Summit, but the shifts that they are making to really think about family friendly things is huge. So Double Time is going to be an awesome way to do that. It's going to be an awesome way to bring in 2 challengers at a time. That's going to be great for your businesses. That's going to be great for making waves in higher volume, really helping people. And also, guys, getting results for people, getting real results for people, allowing them to be excited because they're coming into it with a partner. You're getting testimonies from people. You have more people and more word of mouth spreading about your challenge groups. This is a huge deal. And I want you to start thinking now about how you're going to be talking about it, because it's an opportunity to capitalize on. And then we've also got Clean Week that's coming. So Megan from the 20s, I'm so excited about this. Okay, so the great thing about Clean Week is a few things. Number one, it's essentially a free group that Beachbody has developed for us with a full week-long meal plan, with all the workouts for the week. They're giving you a free week of Beachbody On Demand before you even have to put in your credit card information. So no one is going to open and click that link for Clean Week and have to put in anything. They're going to get a free week of trying the workout program. Now, this isn't going to expose them, from what I understand, to all of Beachbody On Demand. It's going to expose them solely to Clean Week. And the way that Clean Week is developed is that Megan chose workout moves from some of the other workout programs, and she refers to them saying, you're going to see this in 21 Day Fix. You're going to see this in 22-minute hardcore. So you're already hearing these workout programs being mentioned so that you have an incentive to continue on. The idea is, guys, we can get someone plugged in with a Shakeology sampler pack for $30, give them access to Clean Week, get them results, let them eat clean for a week, let them exercise for a week, feel better in their skin so that they can see firsthand, this isn't a joke. We're not selling some false thing. We're selling them what it feels like to actually feel good about your body and the work that you're giving it, right? So those are 3 things. And then the other big thing, this is a huge thing, is that diamond bonus.
Yeah.
Did everyone see that I posted that in the team page? All right. So it's a diamond quarterly bonus. If you rank advance your business to diamond in the quarter, So they have the quarterly bonuses for all the Star Diamond ranks, 2-star and above, okay? So if you are a Diamond or a Star Diamond, no one is a Star Diamond yet on our team, but if you are a Diamond coach, you are still eligible for this. If you are below a Diamond coach, you are eligible for this. All you have to do is rank advance your business to Diamond during the quarter. They're doing this for the rest of the year. And you have to hold that Diamond for 6 consecutive weeks, okay? So 6 consecutive weeks, you hold your Diamond. The idea is, guys, we don't want to be settling at Diamond. We want to be thinking growth. We want to be thinking past Diamond rank, okay? We want to build strong, stable businesses. So that 6 weeks, yes, as a new Diamond, it may be shaky, it may be rocky, but this is really good practice for when you get into the Star Diamond ranks, because in Star Diamond ranks, you don't go rank official until you've held it for 6 weeks. So it's good practice for your business. So if you rank advance your business to Diamond in the quarter, and if you hit Success Club every single month in the quarter, then you will earn a $250 bonus for the quarter, okay? So it's a nice little incentive. If you're working toward Diamond, it's a good thing to push for. But the new quarter started this month, which means it is the 16th. You're going to want to hit Success Club this month if you want to qualify for that bonus. All right? Okay. Any questions whatsoever? Anna, are you writing something?
When is Clean Week?
When does Clean Week unleash?
Mm-hmm.
Unleash. So Clean Week is coming out, I believe, in November is what they said. I'll double check those dates.
But you can do it anytime you like. You can lead a group.
I'm sorry. I think September is for Clean Week. The one that is in November is double time. November 1st. It's September.
But what Maddie's saying is it will be available, so it's going to be like a new product. So it won't be like Sean Week that was just the 1 week live. It's going to be like permanently in our Beachbody on Demand. It's going to be something that we're going to be able to offer to people from here on out.
Yeah, anytime. Yeah. And my question was, do you know if they will do eventually the other products gluten-free?
I think they're working on it because guys, what I can tell you is that the sense at this summit, Beachbody is listening to everything the Coach Network is saying. Mm-hmm. Everything. Oh, cutie pie.
Yeah, it showed.
And Anna, you'll think this is exciting. At the closing, I think it was like the closing celebration, they were talking and they were like, think about like how much growth. It's the 10-year anniversary of Team Beachbody, or of Summit. So they were talking about how at the first summit there was like 200 something people there, and now there was 20,000. They're like, think about how much growth will happen in the next 10 years. They're like, next year we'll have the British team, the UK, and they're like, and then we'll have Japan, or we'll have like the Asian countries, and they're like, and then we'll have like South America. And I was like, they're working on it. It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is the thing, guys. Vanessa said this so perfectly. Listen, you wouldn't expect to have muscles, right? After a week of working out. You wouldn't expect to have muscles a month of working out. But if you are consistent for 6 months, you're going to develop some muscles. Coaching is the same way. Consistency. Stick in there. I know that it is discouraging when you feel like you don't have immediate wins, immediate successes, immediate like financial gain. Okay? I know. I get it. But if you think for a second that this market is oversaturated, if you think that there are not people to help, if you think that this company is on a decline, I mean, I'm not going to stop you if you want to walk, but this company is just getting started. and you need to feel so excited about what is coming down the pipeline, because the fact that they are just about to launch internationally, that is going to be a huge deal for this network. Huge.
Yeah. The other thing that I like is, and that's helping to open the market, is that they are focusing more in family and other stuff, not just weight, which, like, for me, it's weird to get people that has weight problems because they're like, you never had that problem. So
Yeah, I hear you. I hear it. I'm the same.
it's not my market, so it's good that they are opening to other markets.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. Who's doing Shift Shop?
Yeah, no. Anna.
Shift Shop is the new program. It just launched at Summit, Erin.
Oh, okay.
It's awesome. If you guys haven't already gotten your little markers, do that because you need it for the program. But if you have Beachbody On Demand, you already have access to all the workouts. So you only need the markers.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty, y'all. Well, that's all I got for you tonight. I'm going to be trying to streamline more of the stuff from Summit and the trainings and stuff through the team page because it was really, really good stuff this year. Really good. And I want you to commit with resolve, guys. You're going to be here next year. If you are serious about building this business, decide that you are going to be here next year. No excuses. Just make it happen. All right? I love you.
Thank you.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.